All that work and what did it get me? Do 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 do. Hello, hi. Um, I lost a video that I did that I just recorded on TikTok because I wanted to use a filter. I'm not wearing any makeup other than, well, I put on some lip color, but I don't have on any foundation. I look a little rough around the edges, so I was like, yeah, let me do the filter. Anyway, and I lost it. So I'm going to do my best to recreate the video. I did a video about race, lookism, obesity. So these are controversial opinions. I think I'm going to tag this under controversial opinions. And here are things that I have observed and things that I would say bother me regarding race, lookism, and obesity. I guess I'm going to come for Hollywood and the entertainment industry first. So I have an issue with the fact that when Hollywood wants to keep it real by casting a black woman who is overweight, not terribly attractive, whatever, but they ensure that white women of a certain age group, unless she's like some kind of emotionally supportive character who makes you laugh and, you know, is like an insecure fat girl or something, then she's going to look good. By society standards, let me note, by society standards, she's going to look good, okay? And you know, she's going to be the girl that the like, I hate to say it, I'm thinking of Grey's Anatomy right now. She's going to be the girl that is going to attract the hot doctor, but obviously the big fat black woman is not going to attract the hot doctor and stuff. And she's, you know, I don't like it. I don't like it. That like we have to be the test dummies for keeping it real, but meanwhile, completely against what is statistically realistic, which is that 66% of American adults are overweight and the overwhelming majority of the country is Caucasian, that all the white women on television just about are thin and pretty. And I'm thinking, but that, and again, note by society standards, but anyway, but that doesn't match keeping it real. But then with black women, you know, then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, we're going to follow the statistics here. And most of them are at least 2 tons of fun. Like, don't do that to us. that's like, to me, that's racist as hell. You know, I don't like it. I also, talking about the entertainment industry, for instance, the show Orange is the New Black, I am going to piss some people off probably. I never liked the show. I wanted to. Okay. But I couldn't. The way the black women were portrayed on that show, as basic as our looks, not even going into the woman who came into the other girl's cell and pissed in her cell on her floor. I mean, I'm like, the fuck is this? Okay. I like, woo. You know, if you're a black woman and you got through that show, I think you might be on the strongest soldiers list, because I don't know, and I'm not trying to be hateful at all. I couldn't. I was like cringing so hard. The best thing about that show are the sex scenes, if we're being honest. And sidebar, off topic, I have a theory that women who are very heavy into that show, you know, like the ladies. I'm just saying, you know. But I don't like that show. So anyway, oh yeah, and sidebar, Wentworth, I think, is a million times better than Orange is the New Black. But yeah, I didn't like that there were some cute white girls and not a single cute biological female on that show. And note how I phrase that, because the cutest black woman, quote unquote, on the show was not biologically female, you know. And I'm just like, really? you know, but you would never do that on a white show where the most attractive white female is not biologically born into the XX chromosome and everything. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that. And not trying to be transphobic or anything like that, but I mean, I am cisgendered, quote unquote. So, you know, got to represent for my homies. Anyway, now let's move on. What are other observations I have? Black women, thin black women, are the only women that I've ever observed who feel pressured to not be the world's preference, because the overwhelming majority of the world prefers a thin body type, okay? And they're the only group that feels pressured to get rid of what most people would like to impress the minority of people, which are African Americans in this world. Not even just all black people, but African Americans, you know, obviously. In this world, there's pressure to gain weight. I have seen so many beautiful, thin black women feel pressure to gain weight. Like, because in our community, you know, people, I don't think that I'm the preference in our community at all. Just like a super thin, in fact, I think a thin black woman is more of a preference in the black community than I am. But boobs, and especially booty and thighs, are a preference, and those oftentimes come with extra weight. So I feel like a lot of thin black women, I've seen it way too many times, including a family member of mine that felt pressured to gain weight. She did, and where she gained weight was not flattering. She got an extra set of chins and a gut. You know, it didn't work out the way she thought it would. But I don't understand that. I don't see any other group of women who want to gain weight. You know, everybody else is trying to lose weight except then black women. Yeah. So anyway, thought that was interesting. I'm not saying everybody's the same. I'm just saying like something I've noticed within, you know, some thin black women. I feel like society does not allow white women to be fat. I feel like when you are a fat white woman, people feel like it's their job to shame you until you slim down. Now, I do think that it has gotten better over the years compared to what it was when I was growing up. I'm 42. I'm a 90s kid. I came of age in 2000 and everything. You know, when I say came of age, I became an adult in 2000 and stuff. So, you know, I got to see like all these culture shifts and stuff. And heroin chic. I almost called him Maryland chic, heroin chic, and everything, you know. But I feel like white women are not allowed to be fat in society. But it is getting better. It's just still a pressure on white women that black women do not have, typically, compare unless we are as big as me or bigger or something. But like if you're a black woman who you're like 5'5" and 200 pounds, you probably don't have hardly anybody telling you, "Ooh, girl, you need to lose weight. You fat girl." But if you were white, it'd be like, "Oh, you're having a second plate, Cindy?" And it's like, it's carrot sticks. Like, you know, anyway, I'm being silly. But I also think that that plays a role in why a lot of white women have eating disorders, you know. Another thing, again, controversial opinion. I think one of the things, and this is very controversial, mind you, but I think one of the things that lends to black women having poor health outcomes is the fact that so many of us are overweight. Not everybody's overweight, but a lot of us are. And like, for instance, with me, I had preeclampsia. One of the risk factors was being overweight. Okay, so I mean, you know, hypertension, being overweight, diabetes, being overweight. You understand what I'm saying? So I do think that that plays a role, and that's kind of left out of the conversation when we talk about black women's health. So let me see. I had more, but I lost it in that previous video, so I guess I'll leave it here. But yes, those are my controversial opinions about racism, lookism, and obesity. So thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.